So 21 Savage came out with his album. Kid Cudi as well, and Kanye. I did not get to Ye's album. You
No,
know,
yeah, he pushed his
I
back.
I've been on a little bit of a Ye. Oh, okay, okay. Ye, I've been a little bit of a fan for Ye, but um, yeah. Which one did you like? What did you like from both? I know you were pretty into them.
How excited were you for a 21 Savage album? Because it's been a while. I mean, he's dropped some stuff,
It's
and I
been a
mean,
minute.
not as much as he dropped when he first, when he first started showing up on the scene. I think from in like 2016, 17, 18, like what I think maybe 16 to 20, he dropped maybe two or three projects a year. He was really cranking out the numbers there for a while, and then I think
Yeah.
his last solo album was in 2018, and then dropped the collaborative album with Drake last year, Her Loss, and dropped a collaborative album with Metro Boomin as well too. I think Savage Mode 2 in 2020. But I know the Travis Scott album last year. Travis Scott had been on a bit of a break, and his album was pretty highly anticipated. And
Yeah.
I think 21 Savage is definitely in that tier of guy. So where was your hype for this kind of album? Are you hyped for 21 Savage when he drops it all? Is he high up on
No,
your radar?
I was. I mean, I didn't. I'm
I mean,
not
it's in
gonna
that
lie. I
Drake
wasn't. I
family.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't see too much promotion for it. I probably should have
Oh
paid better
yeah.
attention. I did see a little bit of stuff for his movie though. I
Oh,
know the movie was coming out. Yeah, they got Donald Glover in it. And the guy, the the black kid from Stranger Things. Maybe I'll start beef with him by calling him that.
McLaughlin.
What's his name? Yeah, yeah,
Is that the
yeah.
right last name?
I
Caleb.
do like you. You're a great actor. Okay, this is not
Hmm.
beef. I just forgot your name for a second.
What's his name on the show?
Um,
It's not
um,
Steve.
McLaughlin.
I
No,
don't
it's
know.
not. Steve Caleb
Lucas.
McLaughlin. Shout out. I think Lucas might sounds right.
Sir Mark.
But yeah, those are big actors though.
Are we gonna watch the trailer?
For live on the pod.
I haven't seen it yet, and you
I
seem
don't know.
kind
We're
of
gonna have to
excited
figure it
about it.
out.
Is
Yeah,
it
you're
good?
right. Lucas Sinclair. It's okay. Like it looks all right. I mean, I don't know. It looks all right. It's like I don't know how good it's gonna be. I don't know if we really had any precedent for this. Like, why hasn't
Is
Drake
it
done this
a
yet?
is it a full length movie? Is it dropping in
It's
theaters?
supposed to be. It's I don't know. It looks like it's supposed to be a movie.
And it's a biopic on
Movie.
21 Savage, obviously.
Yeah. American Dream. Stream it now. Oh no, wait. Well, that's out. Yeah, the biopic coming this summer. So
I'm not seeing
wow,
anything
yeah, this is
confirmed for
his.
like a date, like an official date at all.
Yeah, but like you mentioned, this was his first bio or singing solo studio album in almost 6 years. So
Or what were you expecting in terms of quality from 21 Savage? Were you expecting an
yeah,
A plus album?
I was expecting a decent album. I mean, I know he's been busy doing a lot of stuff with Drake. And it was
Yeah.
decent. I think it was decent. Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of different songs. I like the features he had on there. Fayez, I did like Doja Cat as well.
Hmm.
Um, trying to think. Did he have a little bit of Travis Scott? I did. That was notable to me. But yeah, I thought it was decent. You could definitely tell that it was a little bit of hyping for the movie. You could hear it. It was a little bit more of a cinematic kind of album. I felt like.
Hmm.
But yeah, I thought it was a decent project. I mean, I didn't have any major issues with it. It was,
So is the album supposed to be the soundtrack?
I
Or is there
don't I
gonna
don't I don't know. I
it's gonna
think
be
it
different
is.
set?
I think it's supposed to. It's probably going to be a little bit of the soundtrack. Um, but what did you like? What did you like from the album?
Well, this movie thing is kind of interesting too because I'm trying to think of any. Well, I guess Taylor Swift did like a like a tour movie, not necessarily a movie about an album. And I think
Yeah,
some other artists,
not a
or Mich-
biopic.
yeah, and I know like some other artists have done movies on like YouTube, maybe like longer form music videos where it's like the album over the course of a story. But I don't know again if this is going to be like a theatrical release or not, or if this is going to be a YouTube drop or what has ultimately happened. Maybe this is the pitch for it. Maybe he's putting it out there and see if somebody like
Yeah, I don't know.
maybe see if one of these streamers wants to pick it up. But one of the things I didn't realize about 21 Savage until I really started digging into it, and he's obviously ascended to the level where he is, I think, he is ascended very highly in the with his status in the game. But I don't think on the award circuit I realized how automatic he's been, but he has been in some form nominated for a Grammy like 4 of the last 5 years. And I know sometime it might be
Wow.
like feature because I know he featured on the J. Cole's most recent album and got nominated for that performance. His last album as well got nominated. I think he might have won Best Song that season. So in
Yeah.
2019, he got nominated for featuring on Rockstar with Post Malone. In the 2020 Grammys, his song A Lot and his album I Am I Was both got nominated. He's nominated on J. Cole's My
Solid.
Life in 2022. And then in this
Yeah.
year's Grammys, he's on in that collaborative project with Drake, Rich Flex, Spin About
Right.
You, sitting on Top World with Burna Boy, and then obviously nominated for the album with just as a whole with Drake. And if I know the Grammys announced their window for the next year's Grammys, not this Grammys that's going to be happening in February, obviously, but the Grammys for 2025. And if we're just kind of overviewing the albums that have already been dropped, I think the Drake album is the biggest one in the hip hop scene that's been dropped in terms of
Yeah.
hype. But, I think in terms of quality, we talked about that one, and it's not like something couldn't pass that. Did you think this album was better than that album, the Drake album? I know Drake's one of your guys, so maybe you
No.
get that bias
Yeah.
too, but
No, I did not. I did not think. I definitely. There weren't any super special songs on this album.
hmm.
And there are definitely 21 songs that um, I definitely, definitely liked a lot, definitely enjoyed. But yeah, definitely, yeah, that was definitely not. Yeah, but
Are
I
they
thought there
bad
was some
songs?
solid. There's some solid stuff. I don't think there's anything super bad. I just felt like you could tell there's obviously been um he's had some work on some other stuff. It feels like he's been
Mhm.
busy. You could tell from the album it wasn't like like when Jay or not J. Cole, but Kendrick Lamar, when he hadn't had an album for a while and then he came out with Damn, and you could tell like he had been working on that since, since his last album. You can tell 21, like you mentioned, he's been busy with all these other projects and it didn't really it didn't really feel it felt a little rushed. I think he's been busy with his movie.
Think he's been doing some other. It's not like he hasn't been involved in music. Like we're saying, he's been on all these other
Yeah.
projects. He's been featuring all over the place. So he's been a busy guy. It just like it hasn't been his stuff. And he's done some commercial stuff as well too. I think the interesting thing about guys like Kendrick, J. Cole, Drake, like if you go through their discographies, like they don't really do the commercial projects. I know Kendrick took one at the end. He did the Black Panther album. Dreamville did the Creed album, so J. Cole was a part of that, being a part of Dreamville. But it's not like those guys are doing a ton
Yeah.
of things for movies and just like a ton of random features. They do a lot of thoughtful stuff.
Yeah.
And I will say, I do think this album was very well produced. I love the production on this album. I think the thing that
Yeah.
I was seeing for a lot of the expectations for what people wanted to see from 21 Savage in this album was, you've taken quite a break from music, but you've been active and, you've still been able to grow your status in the game. And I think lyrically, people were I think they really wanted to see 21 Savage level up lyrically on this album.
Yeah.
And that'll be the thing I'm going to go back and re-listen to and figure out if it held up that way. Because again, I think the production is really solid. And I think, like you're saying, I think that makes this a very good album. I think it's a lot of like B plus, there's a lot of 80, high 80 overall rating type songs on here, a lot of really good ones. But just in terms of, did we get that step up album from 21 Savage, like you're saying? I think like and
No.
even comparing it to the Drake album, where in the game he is currently one of the better, he's one of the best rappers in the game right now. So by default of that, the album is going to be one of the best albums that is currently out. But if we're putting it in the larger landscape,
Yeah.
and even comparing it to his last album, I went back and listened to his last album too today after, because the album dropped today when we're recording this, or last night, whenever. But I listened to his previous album, I Am I Was, today as well too,
Hmm.
and I do think that album is a little bit better. But the production was really solid on this. And I don't know, are we doing like top 5 songs? Are we ranking songs? Are we doing like a mini draft? I know you mentioned a lot of the
I
features
don't.
you really like,
No,
but
yeah, I didn't get time to really get a draft, but I know.
I'm just pulling the album up here
Yeah,
to
I
see
know
which
you're
ones I
probably.
saved. Wait, okay, give me your top 5 quick, and then I'll give you mine.
Let's see here. Probably in no order. In order here.
Yeah,
Um,
randomizer's fine.
but some other ones some I did like. Probably. I had, what was it? Nina.
With Travis
Dangerous,
Scott.
and yeah, Nina. Yeah, Travis Scott's feature, the Lil Durk feature, and the Doja Cat feature. So I like those features. The
Mm.
features were good. Features were good.
Okay, the Travis Scott, I agree. I think I'll have to put that in my top 5 as well. I think, ooh, the Doja Cat feature too. Yeah, for sure, top 5.
Yeah.
I think it's a lock. Red Rum? Did you like Red Rum? The third one on the
I
album?
did. I did. That was probably one of the better lyrical ones on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Is that
was
a top 5?
memorable enough for me to remember it after only listening to it one time. So,
I know these are just instant reaction, folks. So
yeah,
we'll listen to it a little bit more and figure it out. But is that a top 5? I think I might put that one in my top
yeah,
5.
yeah, I could see it. Yeah, I mean, I only listed three, so
Oh, you did. I did save the Fayez one. You like that one? Is that I said that right? Brent Fayez?
Brent Fries, yeah, that was one of the
Yeah, I do like that one as well too. Ooh. There's a couple other solo ones I'm like. So the thing is, I did save. Let me see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the 15 songs saved to playlists, various playlists.
Wow. Okay. Okay. I'm
Various
gonna have
playlists of.
to give it another spin.
We gotta. It's like we gotta make sure we keep the variety going too. So there's playlists where it's like, hey,
Yeah.
this is like an A plus rotation, B plus rotation, C plus rotation. But
Yeah.
letter to my brother, I like all of me is fine. See the real is
Okay.
fine. Just like me, the Burna Boy feature. Maybe we'll do that one because he got nominated with Burna Boy as well too in this past Grammys. So maybe throw some respect to
Yeah.
that. But we definitely agree on the Travis Scott, the Doja Cat, the Brent Fayez, and Red Rum. So there's definitely a solid top 4 for sure that stand
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Definitely a couple standouts.
And
Definitely.
I know you said you didn't listen to the Kid Cudi one. Are you a big Kid Cudi guy in general?
Yeah, he's decent. I listened to a good chunk of it. And I'm not gonna lie, I think musically, Kid Cudi's album is probably closer to what I'd listen to, like what I would listen to day to day.
Yeah.
I think 21 lyrically, he's a better lyricist than Kid Cudi, at least in these two albums. I know Kid Cudi's got a lot, Pursuit of Darkness is one of the best albums of all time, out there. But I think if you compare the two, I think 21, well, we may have wanted a step up from him a little bit in terms of the lyricists. I mean, I think that's where he does have the edge over Kid Cudi, but in terms of the music and the production and stuff, I would put, and that's his personal taste, obviously, but I would put Cudi 21 between these two albums.
Does new Kid Cudi hit the same to you as old Kid Cudi? Does it still hit the same way?
Not really. No, no, it doesn't.
Is his music different?
It is different. He is changing as an artist.
It
At
is
least from
shifting a
this
little bit.
to yeah. I don't know. What
Okay.
do you feel he's shifting?
I think I agree with you. I just
Am I crazy here? Yeah.
the old Kid Cudi stuff is I get it's that classic
Yeah.
stuff, there's nostalgia attached to it as well, but that old Kid
Yeah.
Cudi just hits different. And I don't
Yeah.
know, and you're saying the music is shifting, but I still think he's doing some of the same stuff. Like he's still trying to go for the same
Hmm.
vibe, right?
Yeah.
So I
Well,
honestly
it is a little
a little more
bit. It is a
poppy.
little bit like, yeah, it's not as much R&B, I don't know if
Mm,
R&B is the right word, but it's
yeah,
not
I get
as
what you're saying
smooth.
though. Yeah.
You know.
I don't know if
Yeah.
psychedelic's the right word for Kid Cudi, but because like Lil Yachty was
Some.
doing like psychedelic stuff with his last album, but I think trippy
Yeah.
definitely some trippy type music. But I think I agree it was solid.
Pretty
Was
trippy.
there was a Travis Scott one early? What did you have a song that stood out from the Kid Cudi? Is Kid Cudi one of
Yeah,
your
I
guys?
had
I didn't
some.
realize you were like a Kid Cudi guy.
He's okay. I'm kind of an underground Kid Cudi guy. Like, I did.
Okay,
There's
that's kind of where
some,
I'm at.
um, Pursuit of Darkness. It was Pursuit of Happiness. No, Man on the Moon is the album. I mean, I think just like I think the 2009, obviously the one that he blew up on. No, perhaps
All of the Man on the
that's
Moons are the
probably one of
best.
my favorite. Yeah. But I did like his one with his feature with Lil Yachty. I
Okay.
did A Tale of a Night and Keep Bouncing, I think were the ones I saved. But I didn't finish it quite yet. I didn't quite finish. But it's just like I think A Tale of a Night is a perfect example of how like he's kind of changing. And it's even the art, it's a lot, it's a little bit more, there's more energy to it.
Yeah.
This is a lot closer to exercise music than what he's made in the past, which I don't mind
Okay.
because I do like that. But you're not gonna put on his earlier albums for like, lifting weights.
I don't know. You might if you.
Yeah, if you're
Do
into
you
all that.
what do you listen to when
Like
you work
Mr.
out? Do you
Rager,
listen?
you're gonna you listen to
Mr.
Mr.
Rager might
Rager
be
on
good to work out to. Do you have to work out to
yeah.
like super intense stuff, or could you work out to anything?
I mean, I like stuff that gets me high, like
Yeah.
like not like the
Meek
Scots,
Mill.
like
What's wrong with the Scots? Is
not
fine.
it's not a bad no. The point is, it's not a bad song. We're saying like for working out. I don't know.
Do you listen to
He's
podcasts when you work
definitely
out?
yeah. Sometimes yeah. I'll just be paying attention to that.
So what's the difference between a
Yeah.
podcast and a slow song, or a song that's
Because
maybe
one
not as
is
hype?
making my brain work. Like the podcast. I'm like I'm thinking about it. We're having a discussion here. Like, well, with the music, obviously you're saying something, you're making a message, but it's different with like usually the podcast, it's like some sports thing and someone will say something. I don't
Honestly, just
I
work
don't
out. I
know.
think you can work out to anything. I want to normalize working out to. I don't want to because I don't like usually listen to like slower, saddy type songs. I mean, everybody listens to different types of
Yeah.
songs, so I'm sure that stuff pops up in a playlist. But I
Yeah.
don't throw like Spotify, gear like makes all the playlists. So you can go to the workout playlist and you're gonna get some more hype stuff. But I'll just throw on whatever. If it's like a playlist that I have that I like and maybe it's not sometimes it's honestly, you know what? Sometimes it's soul music. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra.
And shut up.
Sometimes it's
Okay,
J.
okay.
Cole.
Okay.
I think you should just work out to
Slow
whatever you
music
want because
Rem.
Yeah, slow jam Rem. We need a slow jam Sam over here. But I think if you can work out to a podcast, you can work out to anything because a podcast is not even. I think that's any form of music is going to get you more hype than people talking, right?
I
Because
mean,
just the music in general is going to
it's gonna get
give you
me more
something.
hyped, yeah, but like, but at least it's gonna like it's easier to pass the time though. You know what I mean? Like, because your brain's engaged, like you're keeping your mind off of the pain you're going through when you're listening.
You do go brain dead
Like,
in a different way when you're listening. You kind of zone out in a different way
exactly. Yeah,
when
and
you're listening to people
you
talk.
just let your muscle memory go through it.
Do you think you have better workouts?
Um,
Because I
I
can't.
don't know if I have better workouts.
Yeah, I don't know because like you're saying,
I
you
don't
do
know.
zone out. So there'll be times where I'm like, oh, this I'm doing pretty good. And then there'll be times where I'm like, I've just finished the whole set of bench. And it's like, wait, did I
Yeah,
focus on that at all?
but am I like working as hard as I can though? You
Yeah.
know, am I going at my max? Like, you know,
And I feel like with music, it's just I'm definitely gonna get there. I just may not always
yeah,
be in a music mood.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Shout out, but hey, let us know. You guys let us know
Have
down below.
us.
Put us, DM us. Bring in your input. We need 2024. We're asking for more listener input. We want to hear what y'all have to say about any of these
2024, the
topics.
DMs
So
are open.
the D the DMs are unlocked.